Tatra, there. Api, also. Adhabhya, severe. Niyama, austerities. Vaikanasha, rules and regulations of retired life. Shushamate, perfectly recognized. Arabdha, beginning. Ugra, severe. Tapasi, austerity. Yatha, as much as. Shwabijaye, in conquering the world. Pura, formerly. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Prabhupada. After retiring from family life, Maharaj Prithu strictly followed the regulations of retired life and underwent severe austerities in the forest. He engaged in these activities as seriously as he had formerly engaged in leading the government and conquering everyone. Please repeat. After retiring from family life, Maharaj Prithu strictly followed the regulations of retired life and underwent severe austerities in the forest. He engaged in these activities as seriously as he had formerly engaged in leading the government and conquering everyone. Purport, as it is necessary for one to become very active in family life, similarly, after retirement from family life, it is necessary to control the mind and senses. This is possible when one engages himself fully in the devotional service of the Lord. Actually, the whole purpose of Vedic system, the Vedic social order, is to enable one to ultimately return home back to Godhead. The Grihastha Ashram is a sort of concession combining sense gratification with a regulative life. It is to enable one to easily retire in the middle of life and engage fully in austerities in order to transcend material sense gratification once and for all. Therefore, in the Varnashram stage of life, tapasya or austerity is strongly recommended. Maharaj Prithu follows exactly all the rules of Vanapasa's life, which is technically known as Vaikanasa Ashram. The word Vaikanasa Susamate is significant because in Vanapasa life, the regulative principles are also to be strictly followed. In other words, Maharaj Prithu was an ideal character in every sphere of life. Mahajana Jana Jena Gata Shapantha. One should follow in the footsteps of great personalities. Thus, by following the exemplary character of Maharaj Prithu, one can become perfect in all respects while living in this life or while retiring from active life. Thus, after giving up this body, one can become liberated and go back home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. So this is the ultimate purpose of human life, is to go back home, back to Godhead. That is the purpose of all the Vedic literature, is to go to our home, back to Godhead. That is the sum and bonum of the purport here. Prabhupada finish it. And to do that, we need to do our duties while we are living in this human form of life. Do our duty. Everybody says, I have a duty to family, I have a duty to our country, duty to our job. There are different duties that we have to do, isn't it? We must do our duty. That's important. But the ultimate duty is to go back home, back to Godhead. Otherwise, we're just going around. We do our duty, but then we have to see if activities that we do are actually liberating us or binding us. So you have to see what is the result of our activity. So, human form of life is to attain perfection. Perfection means when we can perfect our life completely. Not perfection doesn't mean you are perfect in a material way of life. You have everything you need. You have a home situation. You have a good job. Everything is settled nicely. That's also perfection, but that's material perfection, which everybody wants. If you don't have spiritual understanding and the life behind the next life, we only work for this life because we have only knowledge of this life. But Bhagavatam points out that we have to prepare for our next life. We say, I don't believe in the next life. Whatever I see today, that's it. We don't believe in the future because there is no future. Future is only this life. But there is always a future. If everybody died, everyone is dying, Krishna says those who are born, death is certain. Everybody has to die. So, from time immemorial, everyone's dying. So, right now, the whole world should be completely empty because everybody died. Why is it filling up? Because you die, your parents died, everyone's died. We've seen people in front of us, the people are dying. So right now, everything should be empty, everyone's dead. So why is it filling up? Because there is karma, rebirth, coming back. We have this book called Coming Back. We're coming back. So death, so human form of life is a life of an opportunity where we can liberate ourselves completely from the birth, death, old age, and disease. Everyone's full of disease. You see everyone, look at everyone coughing, laugh coughing. It's just an endless thing. And then flu season. You get a jab, flu jab. So everyone's getting sick. And then we're not a young body anymore. We're getting old. We don't have this beautiful black hair anymore. It's all gray. You look at yourself in the mirror. Say, oh God, And then you see you got wrinkles, and you people do surgery to look better and patching it up. This is the material world. Material body is not everything. Material body is a covering to the soul. The body is changing constantly. So you look at the body, you think, Bodhacha, I love this body. What do you love? Material body is the covering to the realities of who we are inside the soul. That's why a devotee of Krishna, they're not affected by the dualities of life. Like here, Melbourne, and some of my friends that live in the north, in the Queensland area, they say, what are you doing in Melbourne? It's so freezing cold. But there it's too hot. They say, today is such a hot day. Here it's very, very cold. That's happiness and distress. The material world is full of suffering. Dukhalayam asasatam. Krishna says, material world is a place of misery. So, a devotee, we should not be bewildered by these things. You see, Prithu Maharaj, he is Bhagwan. He is God. But he is showing an example. Prabhupada explains here, exemplary. Jaya Mahajana Jana Gatasha Pantaya. Whatever a great man does, common man follows in his footsteps. So Mahajana, a great devotee, whatever he does, we follow in his footsteps. You see people today, even 100 years old, they still put in makeup. Bhagavatam says, go to the forest. Retired life doesn't mean you sit in front of a TV all day. That's entangling. They put you in a nursing home, right? Somebody looks after you. They're just frustrated. They give it on to you. They beat you up and stuff. Happens. But retired life for a devotee means going to holy dham, taking up spiritual life. That's the beginning of a devotee's life. Is the beginning of spiritual life. It's not only when you're old, but when they're old, they can't wait to be old, so they can sit and chant japa. So they don't have to work so hard and maintain family. They're retired. I went to some devotees' home, and they have, the wife lives somewhere, husband lives another room. They're strict. Family life, they have to propagate children. That's it. It's not that you can just keep having children after children, and then you can't take care of them. You see, fish, they can give birth to 1,000. So many eggs. 1,000, even more. So you have many, many kids. Animals, they have so many. It doesn't mean you have to be able to liberate them. That's what meaning of putra. Putra means tra, to deliver the son and daughters. They have, you can see what's inside through the scanning. So they don't like someone, take the tablet. Get rid of it. It's sinful. So if you bring up someone, you have to make sure you make them Krishna conscious. That is the purpose of human life. Otherwise you have cat and dog, too many. Only. Four-legged, woof, 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 woof. Instead of chanting Hare Krishna. This means, this guy is too heavy. He's telling me this is not right. But this is what Bhagavatam says. Bhagavatam says that one must retire. At least at the end of our life. At least, we enjoy our senses, we don't take care, we don't think of God. God is the last thing you think of. You don't think of Krishna, you don't want to talk about religion. But at least at the end of our life, when the senses are all finished, you can't enjoy anymore. Your senses are giving up. That time, you can go to the temple. You can associate devotees. Sit and chant japa. Because right now, people are very much engaged in sense gratification activity. They don't have time. That's why you see this temple room is not filled up with devotees. Because you have to go to work to make money to look after your family. Vedic time, the government would make sure that they take care of the Brahmanas, the Vaishnavas. Now the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas have to go to work. Vedic time, the society was designed such a way, the king was a Vaishnava. He would make sure the Vaishnavas and the Brahmanas, their job is to preach, go out, distribute books, go on Harinam. They don't have to work. They take care of us. Now they don't take care. Everybody have to work. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaisya, Shudra. Shudra means people who work, look after the family. And the Brahmanas, they preach. You do yajna, they give you donation, they give you rice and food, vegetables. You have enough to maintain yourself. Kshatriya, the military, they make sure everyone's protected. But now everybody's working, they get paid for it. It means even the government, he's also working because they gave him a salary every month. So everyone's doing as a job. There's no one, so everyone's a worker, Shudra. So if I wear a suit and tie, doesn't mean you're still a worker, just a higher class. It's like polished animals. Prabhupada used to say, polished animals. So Bhagavatam explains that the purpose of human life is to develop love for Bhagavan, love for God. That is the purpose of our being here. That is our existence. If we do not execute our purpose of our human life, then we are entangling ourselves in this material world. Again you have to come back in this material world, again and again. So no, I don't believe in next life. But we are dying every day. The child's body is gone. We are now 50 and growing older. Every day we're dying. So where is thy child's body? It's not based on belief. Prabhupada says that religion is not religion, it's a science. It's based on science. That you know that what you see, you will see something else, because seeing is not believing. You have to understand the science, the concept behind, through philosophy, through knowledge. Atma-gyan. When you see, we derive a different conclusion because we don't understand. Our senses is imperfect. Therefore, you have to take information from Bhagavatam, from Krishna. Krishna explains it, it's perfect. Om Purnamadha, whatever Krishna says is perfect because he is perfect. If I say something is not perfect, so you're just repeating what Krishna says, then it's perfect. What Guru says, what Krishna says. Guru speaks what Krishna speaks. It doesn't make up anything that's different from what Krishna has said. That's why it's perfect. It's like a chain. Chain up, this is like succession. So, purpose of this human life is when we can be free from sense gratification. Prabhupada emphasized in this purpose, sense gratification is keeping us here. Desire to enjoy our senses. You can't enjoy, we're not the enjoyer. We work very hard to enjoy our body, but every moment we are failing. How can we? But when you serve Krishna, that is a real enjoyment. Because enjoyment in connection to Krishna is for His pleasure. When Krishna's pleasure, when you do something, our activity becomes perfect. God's work, Krishna conscious activity. Just like all of us, we work very hard here. In the past, like I remember in the 80s when we go chanting in the street, they would say, the people would tell us, "You Hare Krishna, get a job." Nowadays, they don't tell us because they see us, we work very hard. Devotees wake up 4 o'clock in the morning while they're still sleeping. So we work very hard. Throw us in the kitchen, we have to cook day and day, every day. And you just come here, half an hour, you eat, and it's finished. Like our Indian people, they can eat. Just today I always cook and go up to see how people are enjoying, get their feedback. And there was an Indian couple, they were so busy. I said, "Hello, Hare Krishna." They're like, take prasadam. And then I had to pat, they said, you enjoying it, huh? So, you take prasadam, half an hour, and you're done with it. Somebody has to grow the food in the field, pick it up. They have fruit picking, right, in Australia? It's a very big, hard job, fruit picking, all day, and you have to fill up big baskets with oranges and apples and other fruits. Then they pack it, and then label it, and before that they have to grow it. It's just endless. Bring it to the supermarket, the trucks, and then to drive the truck, you have to have a license, and you pay for the license, and then to make the truck move, you have to have the petrol that comes from the Middle East, and they have a war, and just on and on. Just so you can have that orange and vegetable on your plate. And then we need to go to the kitchen, and you have to buy $1 million kitchen, and borrow them, and then so we have a good kitchen so they can cook, the cooks can cook nicely for you. And then you come rocking in the temple, Hare Krishna, is the food ready? There's so much work just for that. And then we bring the food upstairs, and nobody wants to go and pick it up from there. They just go up in the line, and then miracle happens, and there's no miracle. We have to go and pick it up. And then they bring it up, and then we give it to you, and you finish eating in half an hour. Done. And then you go home, you feel sick because you ate too much. So where is the enjoyment? It's also, We only enjoy a little bit. Suffering is more. So much work just so you can sit on half an hour and you have a gastric. In India, they have gastric medicine. Everybody eats that after eating because the food's so heavy. Hajmola, Hajmola. They take Hajmola after because Hajmola means it helps you to digest. So the suffering is so much more. Enjoyment is so little. Then I have to teach yoga because they have backache, sore ache, neck ache. It's just everything is aching. They say, And the Indian Matatis, they're big like this. They say, oh, Prabhuji, can you teach me yoga? Because I want to lose weight. I say, you have to start your tongue. I say, I cannot do that. I need to eat. So you think you are enjoying. You think you are enjoying. It's all in your mind. There's no enjoyment. It's all illusory enjoyment. Illusory. Like you guys live in the ashram, and now it's winter time. It's so hard to get up. Get out of the bed, not just them, everybody. And then you run from your room to the toilet. And you have a very quick shower. Back in the ashram in 5 minutes. And you run through, because it's so cold out there. You just take a hot shower. Yeah. We turn the hot shower tap off. So it's quicker. It's cold shower. From the back. So, family life. Prabhupada explains family life. Sometimes we're thinking, jump into the family. I can't wait to have a family life. I can't wait to have, children and this and that. A Brahmachari is thinking, oh, wow, they must be really enjoying good family, wow. But when you're single, you have the time of your life. When you're single, time of your life. You don't have to worry about it. You can keep the money to yourself. Then all of a sudden you got to share it with family. And you have children, you have to put them in school. That's why they have Gurukula training. Kamara Acharet Pragya. From childhood we have to learn the art of devotional service. We are not in illusion about everything. We know the material world is a place of, it's a place of suffering. And the babies, they're born, they keep you awake all night, teeth growing, they're crying, you don't know what they want to eat or not. They just keep you up all night. They're vomiting all over you. I think, oh wow, sandalwood paste. We think it's so wonderful. You have to see the reality of everything. Material life, there is consequences. There is side effect. Everything has side effect. Only thing doesn't have side effect is spiritual life. It's pure, full of bliss, eternity, full of bliss, eternity and knowledge. Sachit Anand Vigraha. And today Harinam, I don't want to go Harinam because it's cold and I feel sick. There's just millions of excuses. Isn't it? So, life is coming to an end. These are all indications. Time is tapping on us. Tick, 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 tick. Alarm is going. These are alarm. It's time to wake up. Wake up to the reality. Wake up to knowledge. So, you see people, even they're like 80 years, 90 years, they're clinging on to each other, holding hands, walking, and wearing high heel shoes, putting lipstick. They just look ridiculous. Go to the temple, chant Hare Krishna, associate with devotees, read Bhagavatam. You turn on the news, it's the same news every time. Isn't it? You all know it. Same news. Turn the damn thing off. And you read Bhagavatam. I was talking to the Mataji, we always talk. She does the reception. And the new lady, the Australian lady, she's reading Bhagavad Gita, or she is doing the reception. And I came in to talk to her. She said, oh, it was just so good. I said, these are Krishna's words. Krishna wrote this, Prabhupada wrote it. So when you read the Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, they're just so refreshing. It's like when you're thirsty and you drink a glass of water, you feel, wow, fantastic. So when you read Bhagavatam, when you chant Hare Krishna, you're relishing the nectar of Krishna consciousness. So fulfilling, so satisfying. Like we did this Guru Puja here where you're singing and dancing. I never think this is a hardship. I don't think, I gotta go to the temple and sing. I'm looking forward to it. Sometimes I run away from here, go to other temple to sing and dance, because I don't get enough here. I love it so much. That's our pleasure. Our pleasure is Krishna's pleasure. When we serve Krishna, we take pleasure in that. Just like you go to work, the job. Think, oh God, I gotta get a job. If you come in the train, and I take the first train in the morning, 5 o'clock from home to here, everyone is so quiet and so, they're like all grumpy. Everyone's grumpy. Got to work today. And we come here, everyone's happy. Monday morning, everyone's happy. Everyone chanting. Temple's full of devotees. Day and day they are coming. Why would they like to come? 40 years, 50 years, still chanting Hare Krishna. When are you going to give it up and take up the sense gratification? It's to say, you don't have TV, you don't watch TV, you don't eat meat, fish or eggs, you don't have sex, you don't have family, you don't go to the cinema, all the things. What do you do? What is there for sense gratification? What do you do in life? We chant Hare Krishna. We sing and dance. We cook for Krishna. We dress the deity. We pick the deity up and clean them. There's so much to do. Print books, manage the temple. It's just unlimited service. In Vaikuntha, there is no dust, nothing to clean, the spiritual world. But the Lakshmi is there sweeping. They're sweeping the road out of love. Here there's so much work to do, but still, the old kitchen used to have so much dust, and new kitchen we have. So there is always so much to do if we want to engage ourselves in serving Krishna. If we don't want to, don't fiddle around with that, because it's disturbing the class. So when if we have the sincerity to serve Krishna, if we have the desire to serve Krishna, there's opportunity. Always. So if we want to entangle ourselves in the material world, there's always we can entangle ourselves. Isn't it? When you go out, you can find a job and get a family and just, then that's it. You're stuck in the material world. And then you come to the temple once a week, do a little bit of service. Get into it. Do service. Get in the mood of devotional service. Work hard for Krishna. I haven't seen anyone in the Hare Krishna movement since I've been in the movement from the 70s that anyone died from doing service. They all died because they had too much sense gratification before they joined the temple. Or they had too much to eat. Everybody in Krishna consciousness is full of joy. If we want to look fault in others, if we want to criticize others, there's room for that. Isn't it? But if you want to see love for Krishna, if you want to see bhakti, there's plenty of it. It's where you want to. You can open the Facebook and chat with people and do this and that. The whole day it's gone by. Nowadays, they don't read newspaper. Before they used to all read newspaper. Now they're all on the phone. You go on in a bicycle and they're ringing the bike. Ding, ding, ding. They can't hear you because they got the phone on. They got the... I would reckon you just pull it off, go, Hare Krishna in the ear. Really loudly. And then there was one Indian girl, she was just going on and on. It's very close to my ear. So I was very angry. I said, just quiet. He said, no, this is a free country. We can talk and do whatever. I said, you can do your free country over there at the back. Go to the back, not near my ear. So we need to utilize our energy to serve Krishna while we have the energy. Human form of life is a Manushya Janma, is a rare gift. So Parikshit Maharaj, Prithu Maharaj here, he was a leader. He's Bhagavan. He gave it all up at the end. He went for the forest to meditate. Parikshit Maharaj, he had 7 days. Then they have 7 days, the snake's going to come and bite him. So he was hearing the Bhagavatam from Shukadeva Goswami. And an exact time came, and when the snake's supposed to bite him, because he had the curse. He was looking forward. He heard the Bhagavatam every day and night, and he was in ecstasy. He was looking forward to the snake bite him and go back to Godhead. Dhruva Maharaj, he stepped on the death. So you're not afraid of death. Death is Krishna. It comes at the time of death, which is the soul leaves from the mouth. See, the people that die, their mouth is open. Their eyes are open sometimes. That's why they close their mouth. The soul's left from the mouth. Ooh. Please give me. The word is called so early. And so, life is a time for preparation. We need to prepare. If you're not prepared, preparation for dying. That moment of death, we are preparing for that moment. Whole life is a preparation. We're gearing towards that time to approach. The time is approaching every moment. How we are going to be, how we are Krishna conscious. Did we use our time properly in Krishna consciousness? Because when the death comes, doesn't wait for anything. I say, no, can I have 5 more minutes? I need to go to the toilet. I need to finish my food. Death comes, that's it. You might be middle of drinking your wine in the pub. It's time's up. Before you can put your glass down. Sudden death. Says, no, we don't have a guarantee when we're going to leave this world. That's why Krishna says, those who think of me at the time of death, they come to me. If you're thinking of something else at the time of death, you are going to only get that. So, if you want to go back to Godhead, you have to remember Krishna. Remember Krishna is what we are meant to do all the time. If you're not chanting Hare Krishna, then you need to think of Krishna. We don't know what we're thinking of. I can't see what you're thinking of. We're thinking of so many things. Sense gratification, so many ideas, so many plans in your mind. Even if you go to work, you need to think of Krishna. So I can't work and think of Krishna. I'm driving now. So they have the rule, you can't go on the phone when you're driving. But you can think of Krishna. You can see Krishna when you're driving. You can see this bus, this truck, this taxi, this Uber car. This is all Krishna's. So there's always you can be Krishna conscious. Many devotees, they drive an Uber driver. They know they're driving devotees to the airport. So they're driving someone to the airport, and so they can go to somewhere where they want to go. But if you're not Krishna conscious, you're driving them so they can go somewhere. You're assisting them for sense gratification. So I used to do yoga in China and make all these people very healthy. And I asked them, are you vegetarian? I said, no, I'm not interested in vegetarian. They don't chant Hare Krishna. So I gave up doing yoga because I'm assisting them to become more sense gratification. said, I don't want to teach yoga to these nonsense people. They don't want to become a devotee of Krishna. I'm making them more healthy so they can forget Krishna. So I gave up the job after 10 years. But I was also tell them about Krishna. So you have to see behind what we do, is that actually pleasing Krishna? So I was talking to some devotees, they said, no, don't be here, go and get a job, and don't associate with devotees. You can become more Krishna conscious by not associating with devotees. Some say like that. You can be more spiritual when you don't come to the temple, because when you come to the temple, you become un-Krishna conscious. Some say like that. That's total nonsense, because whenever I came here, I felt really spiritually vibrant. And I saw some devotees chanting japa out in the park out there, near the fountain, freezing cold. And they were going, I said, why are you chanting? Go to the temple. He said, no, I'm falling asleep there in the temple. That's why I'm chanting out here. So they're serious. They're really taking part in Krishna consciousness. So you can go wherever you want, but if you're looking for sense gratification, your mind is not fixed on Krishna. Even if you're here, you're not observing it. So whatever you want, you can get. But for a devotee, wherever they go, is there in the temple, because they are thinking of Krishna. But if you don't go to the temple, associate devotees, it's harder. Just like your mobile phone. If you didn't charge, electricity is out. The temple is a place for charging Krishna consciousness, recharging ourselves spiritually, and get vibrant. And start to go down, go to the temple. But we have to be always in the fire of devotional service, always. Fire of devotional service, it comes from enthusiasm. If we don't have the enthusiasm, we can't inspire ourselves. It all becomes boring. We become stagnant. Even if I go home and, you do exercise, read the books, and chat with devotees. There's so much you can do also. And chant japa. Your mind, you feel tired, have a rest, and then you take a beat and chant. Prabhupada said, whenever you have time, chant Hare Krishna. No need to talk so much, just chant Hare Krishna. It feels good to chant Hare Krishna. It feels really good. When you can actually have the taste for chanting, it will feel good. But you put the beats down quickly because you finish your rounds. Say, I've done my rounds today, I'll chant tomorrow. Then what are you going to do all day? You finish just chant more. It's a good feeling. You've done 16 rounds, chant more. So it's always, we can always spiritually surcharge ourselves, even on our own. The people say, oh, Prabhu, you don't have a family and you live alone. We're never alone. We have Krishna in our heart. Even if you have husband, wife, you have family. Your husband working, you're in the family. You're not always together. Children go to school. The husband in the temple. So there's always so much separation. It's not that you are stuck together all the time. Unless husband and wife is very Krishna conscious, you're going to read Krishna book to each other and chant japa together, come to temple service together. That's the best relationship. Otherwise you're going to go quarreling each other. So relationship is when two people, they get together, they can enhance their Krishna consciousness by talking about Krishna, by relating to each other about Bhagwan, how to progress spiritually. Read Bhagavatam together to each other. Then it will take away all the problems. This problem in the material world, it doesn't go away. But material solution cannot be put away by material solution, another material solution. There is no solution to material problems. Only through spiritual solution material solution can be solved. Because spiritual solution is the ultimate solution to all the problems. So without spiritual solution, material solution remains unsolved. This is why people kill themselves. Suicidal. Young people. Because they haven't found the truth, absolute truth, Krishna. They haven't found the real enjoyment in life. Because there is no enjoyment in the material life. There's an end to that. So it ends up in suffering. Like they take drugs. It kills them, but they still do it. We don't take those things, but we're still happy because we take pleasure in chanting. Chanting has the ultimate pleasure. How we can dance and sing so early in the morning? Because we know this gives rise to the real pleasure from the heart. So if you don't see that spiritual solution, if you don't read the Bhagavatam, if you don't associate with devotee, if you don't chant Hare Krishna, how are you going to get it? It's impossible. You can talk about it, but that's not enough. You have to engage yourself in devotional service. I said, no, I take prasadam. But that is not enough. You have to do service. You have to work for Krishna. Get more involved in it. Make friends with devotees. There's so many ways. Like if you want to get in touch with a rich man, he may have an ulterior motive because you want money from them. So you have to make friendship with them, with their children, slowly, somehow, from the back, so they can give you a job. Some connection you have to make. So if you want to make connection with Krishna, you have to make connection with devotees. You have to make the step somewhere. That's why there's initiation. Your relationship with the Guru. Then he make you start on your path, journey to Krishna consciousness. Back to Godhead starts by associated devotees, by making the connection with the devotees. It's not just saying, I'll go back home to God, back to Godhead this life. Then go. It's not like that. You have to make the connection. You have to do service. You have to make a start. So, at least when the time death comes, when the end of life comes, if we are not making the start now, we are not going to make it there. We are going to come back here again. So that's why this is a very serious, human life is a very serious time of our life where we're not animals, we're human beings. Animals, they do not have this knowledge. They cannot sit here and listen to Bhagavatam. We don't have cats and dogs sitting here. Yesterday I was walking to the tram and there were hundreds of cockatoo. And they're very close, and I was saying, Hare Krishna, and very close. They couldn't hear me. They wouldn't be running away because they're so absorbed in eating. The fruits fall from the tree now, this the season, those fruit, they fall from the tree. And they were eating, and they make that funny sound. It's like it breaks your ear. And then they're completely oblivion to the purpose of life. We don't have any cockatoos sitting here. We have the pigeons, they don't come in the temple to chant japa with us. If they want to come, we'll let them in the temple, because they know that's a special one. But they're always running around in the kitchen area. And they're so fat, they can't even fly. So, and they're going, so they're like drunk. They had too much halwa or sweets. Or they have too much illicit sex. They don't have the energy. Yeah. So human life, it's not meant for like that. Live like a pigeon life. You will give them a kick, then you wake them up. So Krishna consciousness is knowledge to wake us up through heart. Chant Hare Krishna so loud they can hear you. They go, oh, there goes the Hare Krishnas. They mention the word Hare Krishna, that they get the benefit of chanting Hare Krishna. See, so this is the purpose of our Hare Krishna movement. The purpose of our Hare Krishna movement to awaken the fallen people, bring them to Krishna consciousness. Any questions? Where's your book? You write down the questions. You write down the answers. Any questions from anybody? From what it says here? Something that I can answer you, not too high. Yeah.
Yesterday, Prabhu said in his class that Buddha is empowered by the Lord. Then why do we call him as a form of the Lord, like the Shakta?
Form of the Lord. Everybody has a form. We have to have a form. So Buddha is called Shakta Avish avatar. Empowered incarnation doesn't mean he doesn't have a form. Everybody has a form, but he's empowered. He has a form, but he is empowered form. So somebody who is empowered doesn't mean he doesn't have form. But his form is an eternal form of Krishna and an empowered form. Just like somebody, a president or a vice president or president of a country, they have the power to, so you respect them. Just like the prime minister, they have the similar power. So similarly, Buddha is also empowered as the supreme. And same with Prithu Maharaj, is also an empowered incarnation. That's why they could do amazing things. So, suppose you are our temple president in Melbourne, but it doesn't mean you don't have a form. You can have a form. If you don't have a form, you're nothing, not even a president. We can't even see you. So you have to have a form. But the form you have is spiritual. So Buddha has a form, his form is spiritual form. And at the same time, he is empowered.
So his form is the form of Krishna.
Another form of Krishna, an empowered form. Shakta Vish. Krishna has 10 different incarnations, and he is one of them. Dash Avatar. Yeah. Same with Parikshit Maharaj also. He's an empowered incarnation, but he's not the Dash Avatar, right? Dash Avatars, they are the primal 10 incarnations, but it's not within that. That 10 incarnation is, one of them is Buddha. Buddha Sharira. Anybody else? Krishna's, yeah. Because Kamsa was envious of Krishna. He didn't like Krishna. So if someone is very attractive and very powerful and very famous, there are people who are jealous. They don't care if they're attractive or not. So that's why we need to become... Also, he was not pure, he is a demon. So Krishna is all attractive, but doesn't mean everyone is going to be attracted to him. Some are going to be jealous of him, envious and jealous. They're not attracted to Krishna. But they need to have the blessing of Krishna for them to be attracted to Krishna. Also, mercy of Krishna, blessing of Krishna. So sometime we come to the temple. Not everyone's attracted. They see the deity, but they don't have the genuine love. They just do the prayer as a form of formality. but they don't have that pure love. They just come because he's God and they pray for some material benefit. But for devotee, we see him as he is, and we just serve him without asking for anything. Just different.
If we see Krishna as all attractive, and in that process today and such, it was part of the lecture about the devotees making themselves unattractive, and I don't understand this.
Oh, devotees making unattractive.
Yeah, like a man's wife, so she doesn't comb her hair, so it all goes all matted. Somebody wears bark,
Oh,
and where Krishna is all attractive, there's 1,680 wives and such, and everything looks fantastic to me. Me as a follower,
uh-huh.
encouraged as a devotee to make yourself dowdy and unattractive. It seems to me, I don't understand it. It's like if I went to someone's home, as even a friend, I'll make sure that I have a wash and shave and make myself
Yeah.
clean and maybe present something.
Well, the thing is, he need to explain it. This thing, when you talk about this kind of things, we have to also explain for the devotees and people that come here. So, actually, Krishna consciousness is very attractive. We don't walk around with matted hair. Some people think, like I used to do the yoga in India, and they have these people with matted hair. They say that the hair is the root of, like a root of a tree. If the root is in good condition and very good, the tree is good. So people's strength, it depends how good hair you have, strong hair. So they don't shave or comb it. It's just matted. It's they say it's type of renunciation. They renounce to not be attracted to this world. But they are attracted to their hair. It's also type of attachment, whatever it is. So they are attracted to the body, part of the body, but you can't say, I renounce the world, but they're still attracted to their hair. Some form or other, there is attachment. So, in spiritual life, devotees, Madhajis, they dress nicely. It's to attract Krishna, not just the people. So, you see, Krishna himself is so beautifully God is not needed to be dressed up like that. He's naturally beautiful. But he gives us an opportunity to dress him as a service to him, engaging us to serve him for our benefit. So everything has a system. So he is very attractive. At the same time, we dress him because this is the system. It's just like king or queen. They dress nicely when they come in the open area. It may be in the home they may wear simple clothes, but when they come out, they dress nicely. So Krishna is appearing to us very beautifully dressed. So she's very attractive. When people come here, they see we live like bojos in the street. Then we're going to be attracted. We can be chanting Hare Krishna under the tree. Who is going to come? So we have to make it very attractive. And so when you eat food, it can be just eat very simple, just some fruit. Why we cook such opulent food? So they can attract people. People think Hare Krishna, they serve good food, they have a very clean temple, such beautiful deities they have. This is all very attractive, and the place is very clean. And the ladies, they dress nicely, sari, and cover their hair, and all these things. So this is all part of the Vedic culture. But attachment is another thing. We may be very attracted to how we look, instead of Krishna. So we may be coming to temple, we want people to see us instead of Krishna. So there is ulterior motive, even in religious life. There's subtleness there. We could be dressed up, but we are thinking, is the people looking at me, or is I'm here dressed up to please Krishna? So we have to see the clear cut. Are we actually here to please Krishna or not? Or just we want people to be attracted to us? Even I'm leading the kirtan. So I'm a good singer. It's so nice, people like me. So there's that subtle desire to please myself rather than Krishna, even though we are doing it for Krishna. But naturally people are going to say, oh, it was very nice. You give a good class, you cook good food. People are going to say that, but we have to know inside us, I'm not the doer. He is the doer. He is everything. I'm doing for His pleasure. But if people say it, that's okay. We accept their comments. We accept their feedback. But underneath, we know this is for His pleasure. That's natural. People are going to tell us it's good. That's the human nature. But then we shouldn't become proud. Oh yeah, I'm such a good cook, or I'm such a good chanter, such a good speaker. But we know inside, His blessing, we're able to do those things. Yeah. So that comes from an understanding, from knowledge. I mean, we are nothing without God's mercy. We eat the food, we can digest that. He gives us the power to digest it. So we are dependent on Krishna for everything, actually. By His mercy, we are able to breathe and stand up and walk. He can take all that away and then we are dead, unconscious. So actually, we know for certain that Krishna is the total in everything in life of all the living entities. He is the maintainer of all the people, of everything. He's the creator. We are just His servant. Yeah, ultimately that is our understanding. Yeah, that's okay, right? Hare Krishna, kaise hai? How are you, Shukadev? Surprised to see you. You came back from India so fast. Yeah. Okay, Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.